It's with great pleasure that I enter in your house today. We are back to the moment of the teaching, and the number of the teaching is the number 3. And the title is The Quran is false, but the Torah is the true one. So that is what I'm going to prove today. So again, I am happy to greet all of you. Okay, let me adjust my clothes. Yeah, this is something that I have to do um, at the beginning of the teaching so that your eyes are not bothered. Your eyes and your, what else? Is there another things than eyes? Okay, Yahushua bless you all. It's the Amazon of Yahushua Elia who enters in your house now. So it's the teaching number 3 that you are following. Okay, let's go. Elia is going to explain that the Quran is false, but the Torah is absolutely true. So why we chose this title? Why I chose this title? Because the book of Quran criticize and blame the truth of the Torah. They say that it is wrong, it is being changed, and so on and so forth. But that is what Elia is going to bring. That are all wrong. So let's say that what they have said is true. So why they should wrote that wrong thing in their book, the Quran? That is not logical at all. So how can you write something wrong in your book? Doesn't that mean that the Quran is false? False double times, because you have wrote something wrong. And if you say we got the truth, so show that truth. But the Sefer Torah is always a Sefer Torah, and there is nothing like wrong or true, but it's only one. And Elia has one. That's why I am saying that. So that is something that I have to tell you that first. And having the Torah, the result is people who follow the book of Torah of beloved YAHVAH never sin anymore. They never sin anymore. They don't know how to do bad things anymore. They don't know how to sin anymore. So that is the most wonderful thing with that true God. They become people who never sin anymore, which Quran is not able to do. But the book of the God of Abraham, the Torah, it's only that. Who can do that? Because it's in there that who point out YAHOSHUAH, the son of Mary, and those who follow YAHOSHUAH, the son of Mary, never sin anymore, and they are washed away from their sins. They don't know how to commit sin anymore. And that is the program of the God of Abraham. So that people never sin anymore. So that people don't know how to sin anymore, and they are saved completely, because it's that sin which made the face of the God of Abraham hidden. Whether you are Christian, fake Christian, or Muslims, whoever you were, as long as you are sinners, you cannot get along with that God of Abraham. That is the truth. That is the truth. So that is the first introduction. If it is something that wrong according to you, Muslim, why do you write it in your Quran? It is something that has mistakes, so how can you write it there? So you are now has 2 mistakes. But now Elia is arrived here to prove that there is nothing wrong in the Torah, but yours is false. Okay, let's carry on. We're not going to talk about the details like mistakes in words, but we're going to come into that. But there is no words, no mistakes in the words. But that is the thing that Elia is going to explain, the truth of the words and the fulfillment of the words in the book of Torah, the Sefer Torah of the Jews. Let's start it from the story of Abraham and to the end of the story of Abraham. And who has got the agreement? Who has received the agreement? And the children, their children. I'm going to explain that to you first, and after I give you the chapter and verse in the Torah. I'm going to give you first the chapter and verse in the Torah to tell you that there is no mistakes in there, but it's in harmony. because Muslims say this it's false because they want to talk about Ismail. They want to say that Ismail is the ancestors of all Arabs, and when they are pulling that Ismail thing, they started to blame the Torah, and they say it's the Quran which is the true one because Ismail came from that, and Ismail is the chosen one, not Isaac, and that's why they blame the Torah and they value the Quran by saying this is the this is the absolute truth. But you haven't heard about the story, that story, except in the Torah of Jews, and you cannot deny that. So if the Torah of Jews, where you find that true story, how can you just blame like the Torah is false? And that's why I say if the Torah is false, you should not take, you shouldn't have take something wrong. And if you say you got the true one, show the true one. But Elia has the true one. If you have got the Torah, you should have been washed away from your sin and you never sin anymore. However, that doesn't exist in you, in Quran. Even the Quran said you cannot make someone, you cannot make anyone righteous, and there is no one who were washed away from their sins except those who follow YAHOSHUAH, the son of Mary. Okay, let's get to the true story to prove that you cannot deny the truth of the Torah. So it's as follows. So let me begin to tell it. So listen to you, all humans, listen to this story, you humans who were listening to the teaching of Elia. So when the story takes its end, we're going to get back and give you the chapters and verse. Look at the truthness of this word, because it's a word which is matching and in harmony, and you cannot deny what is in the Torah. First of all, the story of Abraham. He started in Ur in French, and Ur for English. So Ur of Chaldea. Ur of Chaldea. It's in that village Ur that he left. So it's in Babylon. I will show you the picture after, and in Babylon. And when he left there with his father, I have to notice that his family are idolaters. That means they are not righteous people. Even Abraham was an idolater, because even his father Terah was an idolater. And when they left, they get to Haran. It's a place called Haran, and that is in Turkey. That is in Turkey. And when his father brought him to Haran, because they are wandering, and God showed himself to Abraham and said to him, go to the place where I bring you, because I'm going to make you great. I'm going to make your children blessed, a blessing for all the nations. So it's in that place Haran that Abraham talked to the God. And Abraham went and he reached to the Canaan land. And when he reached there, Father YAHVAH showed him that Canaan, and Father YAHVAH said, I have given this place to you and to your children. Yeah, there was no precision at that time. Which children? Because Abraham gave birth to two sons. One is Isaac and one is Ismail. He hasn't got children yet. That declaration has been given to him. And after they went to Egypt, because there was a terrible famine and there is nothing that they can eat. But in Egypt they can find something to eat. So Abraham went to Egypt and he found Hagar there, because he went there in Egypt. And when the famine has gone away, Abraham went back to Canaan. And when he went back there, he dwelled in Hebron, in a place called Hebron. So that it's where he end his trip. So when that story that that I have told you was finished, God said, "It's through your children that all the blessing for all nations will come." But he hasn't got children yet at that time. So he was like, "Who will receive that blessing? However, I am already old." And Sarah took Hagar at that time, and she said, "Because we cannot have children, and we got a slave woman, so have children, have a child with her, and when you got child from her, is going to inherit." So Abraham asked God, "Let Ismael be alive in you to get that inheritance, as you have told me that it's through my children that all the blessing will come up." So Father YAHVAH said, "No, your son Ismael is not going to inherit, but it's through your son, your own son, Isaac, that all the blessing for all the nations will come from." So that is a conversation between God and Abraham. So when time has come, Isaac was born. Yeah, because Ismael was already born before. And it's Isaac that God. Okay, wait. Yeah, wait. As Isaac grew up, so there was like circumcision and things, and Sarah was really angry because Ismael loved Isaac with that preparation. So Sarah was angry, and she said, "Kick this slave woman and her son out, because the son of this slave woman cannot inherit with my son." And Abraham was so sad hearing that word. However, God said to Abraham, "Obey to what Sarah said, because it's only in Isaac, it's only the children through Isaac that my agreement goes through." And that's how Abraham kicked out Hagar and Ismail. And when they wander, they get to Beersheba, and that is a desert, and they were lost in the desert. But God saved them, and He gave food, water in this desert. So in this Beersheba, it is below-ish of the Canaan land. So the story goes on. I'm going to give you the words of them. So they went to Parana, and that Parana also it's near, but that is below-ish the Canaan. That is also a desert. So they dwell there, and Hagar and Ismail dwell in. And then the children of Ismail, they dwell in the place between Shur and Havilah. Havilah it's above, it's in the northwest. I mean, it's northeast from Israel. And the Shur is next to Egypt. I'm going to give you the picture. And that is how the story went through Isaac. And when the time has come when Ismael was not there anymore because Sarah has kicked him out, so it's when there is no Ismael anymore that God has brought Isaac in a mountain to test Abraham. Okay, kill your son if you like me. So it's logical that God did that because he wants to make sure, as Abraham was an idolater, if he dares. So the God of Abraham saw that he really loves Isaac, and he didn't let him kill his son, but replace it into a sheep. And God said, because you haven't protected your son, your only son. Yes, God has said only son. So he considered Isaac as an only son. And it's through Isaac that I will bless all the nations. But God said, you have to know that your children will go and will be slave in another nation. But remember that when they come back, they will bring lots of wealth. That is what God said. So what happened when that declaration has been made to Isaac? Yeah, Isaac died. He had two sons, Esau and Jacob. Esau is the elder one and Jacob is the younger one. And God said, I don't need Esau, but I like Jacob. I hate Esau, but I like Jacob. That's what God of Abraham said. And Jacob has received the choice. And after, the children of Jacob is called Israel, and he gave birth to 12 children, where there was Levi and Judah. Moshe came from Levi, and YAHOSHUAH came from Judah, the son of David. A covenant for all people around the world to take away their sins. So that is how the story went. But after, when time has passed, there was another famine, terrible famine in the Canaan. Yeah, it happens in all the nations. But the children of Jacob went to Egypt. Jacob is Israel. When he has a fight with the angels of God, his name becomes Israel. So it's they who went to Egypt because of the famine which hit the land. So it's only in Egypt that they can shelter. So they all went to Egypt with Jacob and with his 12 sons and his wife. So they dwell there, and at the end, they were slaves. And the story continues. You see, it is a following up story. So where is the mistake? So when time has come, because they have been enslaved for 400 years, so the words of God were fulfilled. It's the children of Isaac through Jacob who were enslaved 400 years. And when 400 years have gone, God remembered these children of Israel, which he said, it's through your children that I will bless these nations. So Moshe, he sent Moshe to get these children of Israel out of Egypt. And that's what happens, that you cannot deny. And that is in the Quran. You say that it's really the children of Israel that he brought out of Egypt. So you cannot deny that it's Israelites who were enslaved in Egypt. And they came out successfully, and they get to Canaan when they have win against those who dwell in the Canaan land. Because when they get back, there are already lots of people who dwell in the Canaan land. But there are places that they can dwell in Hebron. But they fought against those who already dwell in the Canaan, and they have win against them during the Joshua's era. And Joshua shared the land. Joshua is the soldier of Moshe. So that's how the story went. So here we can see that the God of Abraham said, the Canaan land belongs to Israel, and it's Israel who possess it. No one can have it. What happens is, we can see at the moment we speak, it's because of Muslims, the Quran, who said it. They pull that, and it's as they say, it's Ismail who were about to be sacrificed and it's all about Ismail. Let me notice Ismail is not Arab, but Ismail is Chaldean, is Babylonian. We know that the state of Babylonian is so strong at that time, where we can find Nebuchadnezzar. They have their own civilization, and it's the children of Ismail, because the children of Abraham is Chaldean, and his mother is Egyptian. So Babylonian, Chaldean, and Egyptian. So there is nothing to do with Arabs. So here, as I said, in Shur, near Egypt, and pass through Assyria, it's a little bit above. So they reach to Havilah, near to Turkey. So that's how Ismail's story went. He didn't get down to Arabs' territory. However, Quran took that and they say that it's Ismail who is the ancestor of Arabs. And they just have pulled that and they were like, the Canaan land belongs to them, not anyone else. Okay, so because the children of Israel went back to Israel and everyone there were losing against them. So it's obvious it's the children of Israel who choose to inherit Israel. So in the side of Ismail, they are wrong by saying that the Canaan land belongs to them. So Canaan is with Cisjordania, Lebanon, Syria, and all around. So that's what happens at the moment. Who fight against children of Israel, and they are not happy towards Israel, children of Israel. So around Israel, they're all Muslim. Okay, let's continue the story.